it comes to now nomination of candidates, we don't normally consider them. So this is a problem. And then again, the other thing also is economic factors.
Okay.
Yeah, because like economic resources to a larger extent are controlled by men. So when it comes to politics is very expensive, especially when it comes to election. So in most cases, some women may want to take part, but because of the cost that is involved, they find it difficult to compete with men.
We have also seen women lacking behind in terms of decision-making processes, like you mentioned. So how effective do legal and justice sectors address women and men issues?
When we come to legal, in legal there is no discrimination. When you say legal, you're talking about the laws. And in the laws here, there is nothing like discrimination. Men and women, the law says it is looking at every citizen with the same eye. It has one eye, and that is the eye that it used to view every citizen in the country. Whatever your status is in the society, whatever your position. So it's like the rule for one is rule for all. Yeah, exactly. There is only rule for all. So there is no discrimination whether you are this or that. You do not have that in the law.
So what do you think is the way forward for Gambian women in the years to come? Because we are lacking behind when it comes to participation in politics, when it comes to decision-making processes. What do you think?
Yeah, we are lagging behind, but not to that extent. Yes. We also making headways a lot. There are a lot of efforts that people are making, and we see women occupying a lot of important positions in the country. But like we are talking about politics here. When we come to politics, that's where the big challenges lies. When it comes to serious decisions now, certain positions are there. We find it very difficult for women to contest. Like for example, I don't think there is a time when a women candidate stood here for presidential election. No, that has never come to my knowledge. So all these things are issues, because those kind of things, sometimes we preserve them specially for men. We think those ones are for men, and women should not go in for those positions. But there is no position that is above women or that is there for men or women. All of us should come out equally and participate. So like as you were asking, the way forward here is let the parties, the parties try to adopt the quota system. If parties adopt this quota system, I think that one also will greatly help to promote the women participation. And if women take part in decision making, then they'll be able to stood for their own interests. Because otherwise, if they form the majority, when there is debate in the parliament, at the end of the day, when it comes to voting, they form the minority, and then their voices sometimes may not be heard. So I think like what is important here is for parties to try to adopt the quota system, and some are even advocating for having preferential seats for women. Some are saying having reserved seats for women. So you'll see now, if we try to create those kind of avenues, then there'll be an opportunity for women to have a smooth way of getting into the decision-making institutions or places that they're supposed to be. Otherwise, if things are left the same as they are, it will be very difficult for women to compete with men because of the opportunities that men have compared to women.
Well, beautiful viewers, if you are just joining us, to remind you, you're watching the Women's Magazine on GRTS. In our last segment, we'll look at women and their reproductive health. As the saying goes, a healthy woman could be a cornerstone of her family. In that light, mental health is a situation that affects a number of people. It is estimated that the prevalence of mental health issues is almost 20% within the population. But there is a large gap between number of people affected by mental health disorder and those receiving treatment. Our Kumbaba had an interview with Dr. Asade, who will tell us more on that in this piece.
In medical terms, we have two different conditions. The one condition is a physical health, and the other one is mental health. There is always link between mental health and physical health. Physical health is when all the organs of the human are working biologically correctly, so they are not ill. Mental health is very much concentrated of a human's lifestyle, of a human's thinking, of human's emotions. And the very simple explanation for mental health is the state of a well-being, of the well-being of the human being who enjoy life, who can think, who can make decisions, who can socialize with the people. So as you can see, This is kind of different to the physical health. When we're talking about the mental health problems, one of the commonest mental health problems are stress. Stress is people are not happy at the place they work. They have probably problem in the family, domestic problem, financial problems, environmental problems. Obviously, this keep the mind always being under the stress. So these people cannot be freely thinking and relax. So they cannot enjoy the life. And as you mentioned about women,
yes,
the women are getting, when they become and after the teenager age, and then when they get married and they get pregnant, they actually increased the stress of the women during the pregnancy.
Okay, doctor, you said stress and depression lead to mental health. Some of the causes that causes mental health.
Correct.
Yes. How can stress lead to mental health?
Yeah, the stress is affect the mind of the people, of the way of thinking. People are not feeling happy. And some of these health problems, they are temporary. When someone had the stress, like a woman has the stress during the pregnancy, when she delivered a healthy baby and she's happy. So that stress she had during the pregnancy, it will be replaced by happiness after she delivered. Depression is a bit more severe health problems, mental health problems. So those people having other causes for being sad, not happy, and then they are not, they sit in the corner, they don't like to socialize with the people, and this is something. So it's kind of a biological system. The biological system, if it does work properly, then people can also having a more free mind and moving, the emotions and feelings, they are always go on the right way, actually, to do that.
Okay, how can one reduce mental health cases in the society?
The mental health problem can have a lot of different causes. I only mentioned two as a depression and stress,
yes.
but there are other more medically term in the medical health problems. Yeah, obviously, as I said, when we want to have a healthy child, we have to make the environment for the child healthy. Yes. We have to give him a good education, give him love to the children. And when we're talking about women in particular, women are a lot more in stress than men in generally, actually. Okay. Some men don't believe in that, but it's true.
What do you think causes that?
The cause is because the woman, at the end of the day, they get pregnant. The pregnancy is in stress. And the woman does homework. They cook, they clean, they all physical, this kind of physical stress, they can make the woman tired. When they are tired, and then they affect the mental health of the woman. So she is not really able to do freely what she could do before without stress. So if you want them to have a healthy mental health, then we have to give support to each other in the family, with our children. You know what I mean? That can reduce this health problem or mental health problem women in particular going through.
Okay. How can one reduce these cases, or if you have a relative who is mentally ill, what are some of the things that you need to do to ease the stress or the depression?
That is a very good question. As you look here, there are three different categories. If they have find out that particular person has got a mental health problems, then they have to talk to the people. That's why the psychiatrists are there to take the history and talking to them and eventually advise them what to do. And if there is more severe, more serious, of what we call it here, mental health illnesses, this is something they need medical attention. There must be an expert to treat them. We call them schizophrenia, and then some people even are in Kampama, for example, and then those kind of psychiatry, they are suffering from mental health illnesses. But before mental health illnesses, we have mental health problems. And if I give you a statistics, last night I read about it, that is by the WHO report, They have a world population.